Anyone remember He-Man Masters of the Universe? He-Man. Now He-Man Masters of the Universe came out in 2002. It's a series that when I first saw it, I was kind of like, I was a fan of the original series. Now, mind you, this is the era of selling toys and toys first before story. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to be real with you. When He-Man Masters of the Universe debuted, like I said, back in 2002, they debuted next to Transformers Armada. So they put Transformers and He-Man back together, which they kind of do. It was pretty cool if you thought about it, because, you know, it's the first time we had He-Man and Transformers, two 80 properties that were beloved by fans, you know, now I won't say remastered, but remade, some are reboot and remade for the newer fans, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. Now, out of the two, Transformers Armada, to me, was more successful and way better, just because they had a better story arc going, especially when you got to the end, and it was just a better overall show. Not show, but series. Now, with that being said, let's go back to He-Man. The problem with He-Man, the Masters of the Universe, is, now, let's start off with the good first. The first part, the New Beginnings, I think it's episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like, it's 4 episodes, and it's the New Beginning. It's actually one of my favorite openings to any type of animated series. I thought the way they handled that was beautiful. The way they introduced He-Man's world, Skeletor's army, and Evil Lyn. I mean, where Evil Lyn started like fucking, you know, with her power, and the way they, with the backstory, how Skeletor lost his face just a little bit, just a tad. Then I love the fact how He-Man became He-Man, who he was, how the power of Grayskull, just the way they really did that was really cool. Like, I really loved the opening, the first 4 episodes to the New Beginning. It was really good. Now, the problem came after the New Beginning, because the New Beginning did 2 things: world build and introduce us to the world. However, after the New Beginning, the series became very repetitive. It was He-Man beating up Skeletor every episode. It was He-Man beating up Skeletor every episode. It was like Transformers, Optimus Prime beating up Megatron. However, it works for that because there's an overarching story, because, you know, the Decepticons want to rule the world, and it works out for them. However, in Transformers Armada version, which came right at the same time as He-Man, it didn't really work because Transformers were looking for the mini-cons. These were these little mini-cons that gave them more power to whatchamacallit, to the Transformers. So it was different. And then the purpose made sense for Armada to the point where I was like, you know what, I'd rather watch that, because they're looking for more mini-cons to get more power. That means there should be more mini-cons out there that probably could blow up the world, which had more power, you know, and which they did, and it introduced more characters. Like, Transformers Armada was shit. With He-Man, it kept becoming very repetitive. And eventually a lot of people dove off. And again, this show was trying to sell toys. We get to season 2, where I think they even knew people were getting tired of Skeletor, so they take him out, which is a big mistake because a lot of people like Skeletor. However, they take him out and replace him with King Hiss. I never disliked King Hiss, but he was not a fan favorite. People did not like him at all, and they replaced Skeletor with him. However, that didn't last very long, because Skeletor came back because either they heard the fan backlash or someone in the back told them, we gotta bring Skeletor back. I mean, this ain't working. But now they have 2 villains, King Hiss and Skeletor. And it just, to me, it was just, I think they did it to change it up because, again, He-Man got new armor. He got a new, like, right arm, or I won't say right arm, but new armor on his right or left, I'm not sure, to take on the Snake Man, which it really didn't do a goddamn thing. If you ask me, that's all he had. It added just 2, like, freaking, like, blades to his armor, and that was it. That's it. I'm thinking he had a full new armor. I can see his body was full armor, but no, they wanted to keep He-Man to show half his body. And I kind of was like, that's kind of stupid. Then there was another villain that was supposed to be coming in. I forgot his name. His name escapes me. But he was connected to Skeletor, how he got his powers and whatnot. He was going to be introduced because King Hitch did not want him involved in the world. But we never got that far because the show ended. Because, again, I think the toys didn't sell very well. Now, Transformer amount of toys sold like fucking hotcakes. But these did not sell very well. The show itself, eventually, I don't even think it had a second run. It ended up I want to say it ended up on a cliffhanger, but it ended in a way where it's like they left it for more episodes, but it wasn't renewed. The show wasn't renewed, and the people... Cartoon Network didn't want it back, and I think it was made in Canada. I think they didn't sell too many toys up there, which that's their market where they need to sell the toys. But yeah, that's pretty much the backstory of what He-Man with Me, Master of the Universe, the 2002 version. I don't hate it, but I understand the hate where it comes from, from other people. Some people like it, some people did hate it. But again, the goal was to sell toys. I think they should have put more to the story and more overarching stories, because look at shows today like Voltron Force, the Legendary, not Voltron Force, but the Voltron, the Legendary Defenders. That's a reboot done right. He-Man's a reboot at first done right, but towards the end it's done wrong and it's to sell toys. Hopefully Voltron, the Legendary Defender, doesn't follow that route, but it looks like it's not. It's doing fantastic, and hopefully if they do another He-Man show, they follow Voltron, Legendary Defenders, and learn from the mistakes of He-Man and Master of the Universe. And then I hope they take some elements from it. Like, again, I love how they did Skeletor. I wasn't a big fan of King Hitch in the old one, which I saw him. I was like, he's a joke. But I liked him in here, the Snake Man. And I love how they did the whole Snake Man army, which was pretty cool. There's some things I like what they did. I really did some, not all, but, it is what it is. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Let me know down below, as always, if you know. Let me know down below, as always, if you've seen He-Man Master of the Universe 2002. And if you did you like it? Did you hate it? As always, like, subscribe, and have a Johnston day. And I'll talk to you later.
By the power of Grayskull!
And I am He-Man, defender of Eternia.